things I never had. I wanna be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Oprah and the Queen. Oh, every time I close my eyes, I see my name in shining lights. Yeah, a different city every night. Oh, I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire.
Yeah, I would have a show like Oprah. I would be the host of Everyday Christmas. Give track your wish list. I'd probably pull a Angelina and Brad Pitt and adopt a bunch of babies that ain't never had shit. Give away a few Mercedes like, here, let me have this. And last but not least, grant somebody their last wish. It's been a couple months that I've been single, so you can call me Travis Claus minus the ho-ho. Get it? I'll probably visit with Katrina here, and damn sure do a lot more than FEMA did. Yeah, can't forget about me, stupid. Everywhere I go, I'ma have my own theme music.
Every time I close my eyes,
See what you see,
I see my name in shining lights. I swear, a different city every night. I swear, the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire. When I'm a billionaire.
I'll be playing basketball with the president, dunking on his delegates. Then I compliment him on his political etiquette. Toss up a million, the edge is for the heck of it.
Yeah, y'all. It's Hayward Barber Show, also known as the Harlem Heretic, coming at you right on time. But I'm a little raw because I did an earlier show with Liberated Lola Barber. If y'all don't know her, y'all need to know her. She did her show on Blog Talk Radio about the science of getting rich. So I'm doing the science of getting rich recap. We actually co-hosted the show, and it rocked. I mean, it rocked. It had more people on any show that she and I have ever done combined at one time. And that says a lot. I mean, and y'all know how I feel about money, right? My show, the Hayward Barber Show, itself is not solely about money. You know, I do water cooler moments, and so I want you to be informed. So when you go to work, you can go to the water cooler and you seem like you know what's going on with the day's events and the current events. And I also hit off on how to be optimistic, how to be positive, how to get negativity out of your life. So I mean, my show is comprised of a smorgasbord. Like the other day, I don't know if I told you, I made this meal for my parents. It had a little bit of rice in it. Actually, the rice was the base. It had beans in it. Had a little bit of bacon in it. It also had sausage in it. You know, it had a few things, other things in it. So I throw a whole lot of things. You know, my parents, they're older folks, so I make sure I hide some of the stuff in it too. But it was good. But it had a lot of stuff in it. But tonight, outside of the number one primary piece of this show, I'm going to talk about the recap, the science of getting rich, right? And I also have Liberated Lola Barber here. She's doing her show notes. And I'm going to get her to do a couple of different things on my show. My show won't be as long as it was, like typically 45 minutes. Who knows? But, you know, I always say that and wind up doing that amount of time anyway. But I don't know if I'm going to do that tonight. But we are going to talk about billionaire. We're going to talk about riches. But the number one thing that I want you to always know, you can come to this show. You can come here and get freely with just my love in your arms. I love you. I care about you. It doesn't cost you anything to get an I love you from me. I know that when I have guests stepping in doing my show, even when Lola does my show, she gives you freely the I love you too. She's over there shaking her head up and down. That's right. And you can. Here is a place where you can get I love you. I learned how to say I love you years ago in my learning about God. So, you can get that. But today has been And absolutely, I'm on this new thing, this new term that I call organic. And today was an absolute organic day. Lola and I, we've been spending a few days together. We've been together and working on projects and getting some things done about both of our shows, our podcasting and our blogging shows and all that kind of stuff. And we've been hammering away. And we knew that this day was going to lead up to doing the Science of Getting Rich, which is a 4-week program that we're going to do. Just the way today just developed itself. And we got up, we had our own intentions and our own ideas about what we're going to do and how we're going to map out today and put the lesson plan together and rock it and put it all in sequence. And guess what God said? Nope, that's not the way it's going to go. You're going to do it like this and like that. And it was almost the opposite of the way we thought. And there she go again, shaking her head up and down. So, I mean, and the deal is she mentioned tonight that the science of getting rich going in flow. Once you hit flow, right? Once you start getting into that, she mentioned collective consciousness tonight too, when 2 or more gather with a primary focus. That's called a mastermind. And that's what the program is called, Science of Getting Rich, 30-day mastermind of some sort, right? And there she go again, shaking her head. Yeah. She's doing her shows, right? Right, don't talk. So, the collective consciousness, or when you are, like even tonight, right, or today, we started out with today. We started out with a certain intention in mind, but we both came together in a certain spirit in making that one thing go. So once you do that, there's automatically a third development of a being, right? I mean, we go back into what God says, when 2 or more of you gather in my name, right? And that's in the Bible. But now, and we know that then there's a whole new being that develops. So now it's not 2 people, even though it's the 2 of you that start the collective consciousness. Then you create a whole nother consciousness. And then it starts to carry you in flow, which is really the Holy Spirit, right? But, you know, I know that I got a lot of a younger audience, a more hip audience and all that kind of good stuff. So, I mean, I like to put it in those kind of terms. But as well, I have, you know, my evangelical, my far right, and my Christian audience. So you understand how flow becomes the Holy Spirit, which decides that he's going to take you where he wants the flow to go. And that's what happened today. And we wind up being on a whole different flow. Matter of fact, now look, y'all already know, right? Now this is a little bit different from the recap not the recap, but the actual program that Lola and I are doing in terms of the Science of Getting Rich, the whole mastermind piece. But I've been reading to you guys on a weekly basis since maybe Tuesday, from the lady that we looked at this morning, almost by accident. But you know how God is. There are no accidents, right? But her name is Edwene Gaines. I never said her name because at the end of what I was going to read to you for 15 straight days, and then I was giving you instructions on reading it and writing it for 21 days, because, you know, anyway, 21 days is how you start and break a bad habit and start a new habit. Hopefully you'll never do it the other way. I don't even want to mention it the other way, because it can be done that way too. But her name that we've been reading from, which is called Dare to Claim Your Good, Prayer Statement for Unexpected Prosperity, by Edwene Gaines. And her name is Edwene, last name Gaines, Gaines. So happens today, Lola and I stumble upon a video of hers. Had to be over an hour and some odd change long. She's shaking her head. Over an hour or so long. giving certain specific instructions. Some of it falls in line to what we've been reading about. Two more I'm going to give you tonight. We're going to read, I believe we're on the fourth one I read on Friday. So I would read today the fifth one, and then the other four as well. And remember, the instruction goes, write these statements every day for 21 days.
I'm doing right now.
What? Excuse me? Go ahead. No, you can speak.
Oh, I said that's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, and Lola's doing hers now. And let me say this now, and I'm gonna have Lola read a different statement again. My show, the Haywood Barber Show, is not about the specificness of money, but I know that money itself is what makes life just more pleasant, more easygoing. It keeps the grandkids around. I know we don't care all that much about the kids, but we care much more about having our grandkids. Anyway, I do. So Lola's twisting her eye at me. Yeah, I don't care. I much rather.
Everybody's kids are not your kid's age. That's what I.
Oh, okay. So look, even the kids, right? We could do a lot of things for our kids too. I'm kind of messing around. But money makes the world go round. As the world turns, it makes it turn better. So again, I know my shows, I stay broad. I got a mix of this, a mix of that. But today I want to, because I'm recapping The Science of Getting Rich, which I think Lola's going to do every Monday for the next 3 Mondays or something like that. And I recommend that you follow her, period, but then follow this program, The Science of Getting Rich, on Blog Talk Radio, Monday nights at 7 to about 8:30. Okay? So get a new notebook, marble notebook, a couple of pens, and if you're cooking dinner, listen to the show while you're cooking dinner. If you're eating dinner, these Mondays, listen, even while you're having dinner. I think that's okay to do under these circumstances. That's okay. But what I want to talk about, Miss Edwine, she said some real astounding things today. And again, Lola and I was going to get together, put together our, not treatments, but our outline for today's program. That was our intention. But we came across this video, and so we spent about an hour and a half, maybe not quite 2 hours, listening to this lady give us the outline. She gave it to us, the outline that we was going to probably struggle 6 hours to put together. Maybe not, maybe 5 hours. But the point that I'm trying to make is, if you get together in the spirit of collectiveness, and Lola talks about this in The Science of Getting Rich, specifically for money, but I'm talking about it for the spirit of success, of anything that you want to do. If you have more than one team come together, if you think about Ford, right? The automaker, right? This was a real guy back in the turn of the century. He started making Model A cars. Maybe the young people that listen to the show, they don't realize that Ford was a man. He's a man that, he wasn't even a super smart man, but he was a thinking man, and what he put together was a mastermind, and put together a team of people that helped him put together cars and made them in a mass manner. I mean, we know that Mercedes-Benz started making cars way before most people, but Ford put it together so he can make cars in a mass manner. And he did it with thinking with himself and other people, and then that third consciousness. I think that is so powerful. And I want you to remember this as Lola and I stumbled upon this video of the same lady that I was already reading to you, her techniques and her style and her knowledge. And then we stumbled upon that very person's video that gave us the answer to what we needed today for our big show. But my point is that if you start in motion, in faith, moving forward, then these things will start to just pile on and come together for you in order to give your experience so much more enrichment. Look, I'm going to have Lola read something to you that I really want you to know. And what this piece is, because we're going to be talking about money on the show today, I want you to know this. This is one piece that I mentioned earlier on the Science of Getting Rich, the Mastermind. I was at a presentation maybe a few years ago, and it was most of the kind of people like me, right? I'm an entrepreneur. Lola's an entrepreneur. I'm not sure if she and I were together at this time, but I was at a presentation. It was mostly entrepreneurs. Most of us in the room were super successful, had some success, and we were, how to bring our businesses to the next level. And one of the things the presenter said was, am I boring you? Okay, I just wanted to be sure. So when the presenter said, just messing with her. Hey, look, y'all, I am juiced up. I mean, we were on that show, on the earlier show for an hour and 10 minutes, and it got me ganked up. And I took 2 sips of 12-hour-old nitro coffee, so it kind of blew me away. So super, super, super. Okay, go out. All right, but I wanted to quickly go into this piece about I'm gonna have to jump off in a minute because I got to go help my family out. We rocking and rolling on moving some stuff, but so we were at that presentation, and the gentleman asked a significant question, right? Most of us in the room have read Think and Grow Rich. Matter of fact, everybody, 100% of the people in the room read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So he asked everybody that read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, stand up. So everybody stood up. And then he asked how many people have read the book at least once a year. So everybody, most of the people stood up, because most of us, I read the book a couple of times a year. Then he asked a real important question, right? And even I had to sit down. He said, who has followed the instructions on the original book, followed the instructions on page 37, and followed the instructions, the success formula instructions to the letter, and every one of us sat down. Now, most of us have already read the book. We read the book once a year. We read the book and make reference to it all the time. And all of us said that we would consider that it contribute to our super success in life. But then when it came down to the most essential piece, which is, have you followed the instructions to the letter? That was, nobody had done that. Nobody had done that piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Lola read to you the self-confidence formula, and she's going to probably even finish up the show, because I'm going to... Okay.
Hey everybody, this is Liberated Lola Barber. I'm reading for you, and let me tell you something. This is from Think and Grow Rich, and it is the self-confidence formula. Like Kayla was saying, so many times we have all read Think and Grow Rich, and we never do this part. And I'm guilty of that, just like everybody else, but we got to do the work. And so this part of the work is the self-confidence formula, and it tells you what to read: 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So now it says, First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand, that's emphasized, of myself, persistent, continuous action towards its attainment. And I here and now promise to render such action. So it says, I'm going to do the work. Okay? Second, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture. So that's talking about visualization. That's talking about sitting there and figuring out who your I am is, who it is you want to be, and seeing yourself as that person in your mind. You know how when you're younger you get slapped on your hand for daydreaming? Well, this is saying that daydreaming with a purpose creates profits in your life. Third, I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demand of myself the development of self-confidence. Let me just go back to second. Second says you're going to spend 30 minutes a day, right? Visualizing and seeing yourself being that person that you desire to be, doing what they do, thinking from the way they think, behaving from the way that they behave. And then third, it says that you're going to spend 10 minutes devoted to demanding of yourself the development of self-confidence. So you're going to build your self-confidence in some way, shape, or form through the principle of auto-suggestion. That's your third action daily. Your fourth action is I have clearly written down, or I will clearly write down a description of my definite chief aim in life. And I will never, never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. So this is some more your action. This is putting in the work. So you're going to clearly write down a description of your definite chief aim in life. All right. So that person that you're visualizing yourself as being, the self-confidence that you're mustering up so you can move forward. Okay. That's the action that you're going to do. In the fourth thing, you're going to write that description of that I am, that person you want to be in life, and you will never stop trying until you have developed a sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Fifth, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. You don't need to cheat, steal, lie, and try to beat people in order to make money. That's what that's saying. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces that I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. So you're going to reap what you sow. You're going to serve others, and in turn, because of your charisma, which is what he talks about later on, but I think this is an older book, so they don't call it charisma in here, but he's going to attract people to want to help him. So he's going to bring the people, or you're going to bring the people into your life to help you carry out and become that person that you desire to be. Okay. I will, I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity, because I know that a negative attitude toward others can never bring me success. So you will wish good for everyone. And this is, the lady that Haywood talked about earlier, Edwene Gaines. She talks about forgiveness and how important that is. When you institute the behavior, and forgiveness is in Think and Grow Rich too. So when you deal with forgiving all the people, including yourself, then those things like cynicism and jealousy and selfishness, they go by and by. And so you can have great thoughts and healthy thoughts about other people. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it aloud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. Check that out. Isn't that hot? So, this is really giving you the step-by-step. And it says back of this formula is a law of nature which no man has yet been able to explain. The name by which one calls this law is of little importance. The important fact about it is it works. It works for the glory and success of mankind. if it is used constructively. On the other hand, if used destructively, it will destroy just as readily. In the statement, that's what we say, it can be used. I think it's Henry Ford. He was talking about earlier. Says whatever you believe is what it is. If you believe it's good, whether you believe it's good or it's bad, you're right. Whether you believe it works or it doesn't work, you're right. And that energy, that force, that thing, God gave us free will. So he gives us the power and the energy to make things happen. That's why they say money just amplifies who you already are. Money's neither good nor bad. If you're I started to say a bad word. If you're an idiot, money is going to make you an even bigger idiot. If you're a big-hearted, generous, loving person, money's going to make you an even bigger, generous, loving-hearted person. So the money can't corrupt. It's the core that you already have that needs to be pure so that you'll treat people in a good way. Let me see what in this statement may be found a very significant truth, namely that those who go down in defeat and end their lives in poverty, misery, and distress do so because of negative application of the principle of autosuggestion. The cause may be found in the fact that all impulses of thought have a tendency to clothe themselves in their physical equivalent. Check that out. So if you think negatively, I hate myself, you thinking, I'm probably not no good anyway and I'm not worthy, then people will show up in your life who embody those things that you think about yourself. So you have to change the way that you think about yourself. And the power of autosuggestion is so important when it comes to that, because that autosuggestion is determining what you think about yourself at every given moment. Okay? And so this is pretty powerful because it tells you about, this is a formula, just like the formula that Haywood has been reading to you guys by Edwin Gaines, each night a piece of that. This is another part of that formula. What we just finished going through with the science of getting rich, it has a formula. And you know what, everybody? It's all telling you the same thing. None of it conflicts. Actually, it's all we say is, saying that The Secret, Think and Grow Rich, and so many other things come from the science of getting rich. But I found a book that even predates that, and it's called The Power of Awareness. So these thoughts are not new thoughts. We call it new thought teachers, but it ain't new thought. It's new to us because we become so consumed with technology and things that, are, sophisticated. But this is not new thought. This is God principle. And, so those of you who might be listening who say, oh, that sounds like hooji juji. These laws God has already put into place to rule, govern, and to support the world we live in so that we, as simple, sometimes stupid human beings, don't mess it up. Because we can mess it up. So these laws are put into place so that we don't mess it up, that we keep it straight, and that we're able to have success if we treat other people right. I mean, really, isn't that what I basically said in there? Is that, if you don't treat people, part of the principle is that you have to treat people, you have to serve people, and then they will serve you. You have to believe in them, and then they will believe in you. You ever have a manager, and I've had a manager like that said he believed in people, but he treated them like idiots. And so in turn, in a matter of a 9-month period of time, not even 9 months, 6 or 7 month period of time, 19 or 20 people, matter of fact, as of the other day, 22 people had gone and come from his employ. That's ridiculous, isn't it? And that happened because though he espoused and he he professed that he believed in people, it felt really surface. And so no one was willing to support him in his movement and his thought because they in turn did not feel supported. You ever had somebody come to you and ask you to do something for them and you're thinking to yourself, man, the last 3 times I asked you to help me move a pillow from one side of the couch to the other, you looked at me like you didn't want to and you did it begrudgingly. So now you want me to help you? So you absolutely have to give what you want to receive. Remember, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So you have to be able to support people in the way that you say that you want to be supported. Not sure whether or not Haywood Barber's coming back on here tonight because I know he's doing a real estate deal right now. And I think he may have had to go and get on the phone and negotiate some things. So I'm not going to stay on. I'm going to say thank you from him. And I'm going to say again, like he always says, I love you. I truly do. And if no one has told you that today, I'm going to tell you that right now. Know that you are always loved. And even if you don't hear the sound of Haywood's voice or the sound of my voice, know that you are simply loved because God is love. He's always present. He's always taking care of and being in charge of your life. And even if it looks ugly, smells bad, and tastes nasty and hurts, He's still there. And everything that He is putting forth in front of you, believe it or not, is towards your own good and leading you towards the purpose that He has put forth for you and the reason why He gives you life and breath. So we're going to go back out with Travie McCoy and Billionaire. I hope you understand that the science of getting rich, Think and Grow Rich, the secret, all of those things are real, but guess what? It's up to you to do the work. So have a great night. I love you. Haywood loves you. Peace and blessings.
I be playing basketball with the president, dunking on his delegates. Then I compliment him on his political etiquette. Toss a couple million, the edges for the heck of it.